Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness today. There's been a lot of news dropping over the past few days. The massive one, which got people to kind of sit upright, and I personally feel was a bait and switch, actually came to us from Variety. It was Adam B. Vary and Justin Kroll. It was the fact that Sam Raimi was in talks to direct Doctor Strange 2. Now, in today's video, I want to break down a lot of what's just happened across the last few days, the reports, my comment on it, and where I think this sits with respect to the MCU and the kind of Marvel movies on a whole, and whether this is something we should be concerned about or not. And I know a lot of people will instantly just say, there's nothing to worry about, Marvel is amazing. I get that, that's fine, but we need to take a look at this a little bit because not all is well at the House of the Mouse here. But that being said, let's just jump into it. Okay, so Sam Raimi is in talks to direct Doctor Strange 2. This was an exclusive dropped by Variety on the 5th of February. Now, Variety are a very reputable source for exclusives. They genuinely do get exclusives. So when this dropped, it went everywhere. For two reasons. One, director attached to what would arguably be a very big Marvel Universe movie, and then the director himself, Sam Raimi. I mean, him returning to superhero movies directing, that's huge. Now, their report stated, and I quote, Sam Raimi, who helped launch the modern superhero movie with 2002's Spider-Man, is in talks to direct Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness for Marvel Studios, Variety has learned. Sam Raimi replaces original director Scott Derrickson, who Variety reported on January 9th had officially departed the project due to creative differences. Derrickson will remain on as executive producer. Raimi, meanwhile, will need to get up to speed before the film's scheduled production start date in May. Marvel had no comment. Now, okay, let's take a look at that. Right, Sam Raimi, big name, right? That's a big name to have return to superhero movies, but Sam Raimi is also a name to return to horror. So there's a few things here as to why this is good and why this is bad. Now, first and foremost, I believe firmly that this is the good old bait and switch. So a lot of people were very, very upset that Scott Derrickson had left the project because he for a few reasons, mainly is that he did a lot of work storyboarding and getting the Doctor Strange 2 film off the ground. This was his film, right? It was given to him and he made it happen. Now, the other main thing here is then you have people going, okay, well, what's going to happen? Who's going to replace him? Because Doctor Strange 2 was initially stated and reported as being somewhat of a horror movie in the Marvel Universe. Who could replace him? Oh, Sam Raimi. So stunning, so brave, Marvel. You're so good. This is why I think Sam Raimi has been tapped as a director. The key issue I see with the initial report was the fact that apparently it was creative differences, but Derrickson remaining on as executive producer. So again, when we start to read between the lines here, Derrickson was given the executive producer role mainly just to keep him sweet and keep him quiet. But as we now know, in a new piece of news, which I'm going to cover in a second, they are going back to the drawing board on this film entirely. Now, executive producer role can do a few things. They oversee a lot and they're a money man, right? But they also take a lot of money back. And they can also be given that role as status. Now, Derrickson, given the role of executive producer, could be for numerous reasons, but the fact that they are now going back to the drawing board completely for this film, I would say signifies the fact that they've literally just given him that to keep him sweet and give him a little bit more money and prestige off the back end of the film. Just basically just to keep him quiet. It's almost back pay in some regards. Now again, Sam Raimi has done a lot of horror movies, okay? But this is not the reason why you should be excited for Sam Raimi coming to Doctor Strange 2. Why? Because it's recently been revealed, or more recently anyway, that Doctor Strange 2 is not going to be a horror at all. In fact, that was again confirmed by Kevin Feige fairly recently, even though he had doubled back on what he had said initially about the project being a horror movie. So Sam Raimi's horror influence as a horror guy is little to no input here. Is kind of a moot point. Now, Sam Raimi coming back to a superhero movie. I don't know whether this is good or bad. I mean, Raimi, yeah, he dealt with Spider-Man. I still don't think that's particularly good in terms of being compared to modern day standards. And what has he done recently? Not an awful lot, to be perfectly honest. He's done a lot of producing roles more recently than directing. Now, the other piece of news here, again, is that yes, it was set to get behind the cameras in May. So that is quite literally 3 months away. However, it has now been confirmed by the Hollywood Reporter, or at least they are reporting it, that they now have a brand new writer on the film. Marvel Studios apparently has enlisted Loki head writer, so for the Disney Plus Loki series, Michael Waldron, to rewrite the script for Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, this is a full rewrite. You wouldn't announce it. It certainly wouldn't have leaked in this manner either. And this firmly shows that there is some concern at the House of Mouse. You do not scrap someone's storyboards completely, scrap all the work that a director has done on a project, and then get someone new in as director. Again, you have to remember here that the reason that has been given for Scott Derrickson leaving is creative differences. So we then line this up with the other news that Sam Raimi is on board, and now they have a brand new writer to rewrite the script. There are some problems here with this film, and the creative differences are a lot bigger than what people first reported. Now, to play devil's advocate to the people that are not worried about this, I wouldn't be worried either if, ladies and gentlemen, and that's, again, I repeat, if they did not hire someone to rewrite the script. Unfortunately, they have, which signifies to me, again, with the additional new director, to say that they absolutely have major concerns. I bet it's not just a rewrite either. I'm sure they're probably going back to the drawing board entirely. Now, production was scheduled to begin in May this year, so 3 months away. Now, with a new director and new writer coming in very, very soon. Again, Sam Raimi is not 100% confirmed as yet, but it seems to be that he will be on board, I'm sure. But with a brand new writer, they're not going to start filming this May. It's unlikely that they'll start filming this May. The fact that Derrickson was removed due to creative differences, new guy on board, new writer, to me, they're going to have to go straight back to the drawing board. 3 months to go straight back to the drawing board and then, again, do pre-production and get into production in that time frame is quite rare. That will be a very big push for them to achieve. And you got to remember as well, like Marvel has been very, very, very silent on all of this. So that is, again, the PR machine of Marvel thinking how to approach this. What are we going to say? How are we going to announce these things? I firmly believe that when we do hear from Marvel, it will be a case of, hey, we're pushing it back. This is the new release date. This is now when we're going to enter production. Now, the release date is actually 2021. So they could, in theory, still produce it, get the production done and enter into pre-production and get the whole film finished in time. But again, that's dependent on how quickly they can rewrite the script. Now, Loki head writer Michael Waldron, it's not really done an awful lot, to be fair. So there's nothing really for him to be compared against, again, until we see Loki. Now, I do find what's interesting here is that a lot of the Disney Plus writers have recently been hired and shifted around to the productions of the bigger Marvel properties. Now, there's a few reasons for this, I believe, anyway, and this is all speculation at this point in time. Marvel, they have them under contract, so they can probably just ask them to write too much, and it won't cost them too much more money because they are contracted to do it, or secondly, because they're easier to push around. Again, cheaper, easier to push around, that's more likely the case with respect to Marvel and how they handle their business. But anyway, guys, what do you think of all of this? Again, I've stayed a little bit quiet on this. I was waiting for more information to drop, and there you go. We have it. So, new writer, allegedly new director in Sam Raimi. I don't think this is particularly good news. I definitely think this will go against the film. I think it will be pushed back, potentially, anyway. So what do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you missed last night's upload of Hellraiser Below and Beyond, please do check it out. I don't think anyone's really being notified of my content anymore. It's a bit of a shame, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. I will push on. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Mr. H. Take care.